everybody, and welcome to the show. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new to the show, man, it normally doesn't look like this, but I've got special guests in the house today. I hope y'all are doing great. Those of y'all that have been here before, welcome back. Man, love y'all. Love what we get to do. Love the engagement, the community, everything that we get to do. I think with my guests, Brandon and Randy in here today, I know. Randy, I still call him Randy. And those of y'all on TikTok, Instagram, I know you can only see me. If you want to see the other guys, since we're vertical here and horizontal everywhere else, if you want to jump over onto YouTube, love to hear from you. Love to hear your questions and comments, because y'all, the camera's far enough away, I really can't see it. I kind of straighten it up there where y'all can see me a little bit better. Man, if this is your first time here, if you've got a question, please jump in, leave a comment, put a Q in front of it. That way I know you've got a question, and I will try to get to it. I'm going to move some things around here and see if I can get everything going. Heavenly Sheep Hugs and Hugging Foxes in says, I got a question. Man, all I'll tell you is put a Q in front of it, ask your question, and let's get going. Everybody else, man, how are y'all doing today? This is going to be fun. This is really just blue-collar hangout. So we are going to hang out today. Why doesn't my mouse work? There we go. And I can't ever get rid of this vidIQ thing. vidIQ, if I've got to cancel you just to make that stuff go away, I will. Just letting you know that now. Because I've been fighting it for 2 weeks and I'm not fighting it anymore.
That's funny.
So now that I got somebody here with me, I'd say, here, you make it go away. First of all, then I got guests. So I want to say hello. I'm going to click on this camera right here and try and hold it here. So I'm going to hit stop over on this one. If I can hit stop. There we go. So, Brandon, how you doing, man?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Man, welcome into the live stream. I normally don't do it with 3 people, so it's going to be fun. And like I said, TikTok, Instagram, if y'all want to see Brandon and Randy jump in, love to hear what y'all have to say. Just go over there and say, hey, I'm here from, put a Q in front of it, ask a question. Brandon, tell everybody who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name is Brandon Jones. I'm the owner of Express Home Services here in Richardson, Texas. We specialize in roofing, and yeah, I've been involved in the trades about 20 years. Actually got my start as an HVAC person way back up in Seattle, Washington. And I always say I'm not from Texas, but I got here as quick as I could, and I love it down here.
A lot of people do that. Don't you? You know, it's not a race. Y'all don't have to hurry up and get here. Just going to throw that out there. And you know, you've done HVAC. Y'all
Yes,
are
sir.
doing roofing. Your partner does plumbing.
Yes.
So y'all are going to be a complete home service company.
Absolutely, full home services with more to come.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I've got a great electrician y'all need to meet.
Okay.
Absolutely. Squirt, what's up? Why are you laughing?
Hey.
Man, come on.
It's a wonderful Saturday morning. Glad to be here with everybody. Glad to have you here in the stream today. Appreciate you showing up.
You know, the neat thing is, look, we jump in and do this every Saturday. Almost. Unless I'm out of town.
Most Saturdays.
And I do tend to travel a lot. I know that. It is what it is. But I want to say, look, thank y'all. TikTok, Instagram, thank y'all. I wish that there was a way to make this feed go live with y'all. There's not. So if you've got questions, because I promise you, I can see y'all are texting something. I just can't see it all. So if y'all would please, just go over to the YouTube channel, jump in, even if it's just to leave a comment. I'd love to hear from y'all too. Like I said, if you're new here, and look, we've got an amazing community. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. That way you get notified every Saturday to remind you, hey, man, I need to jump in and say hello. I know that's right. I'm trying to go right there. And we're going to hit run again to make sure that the camera's moving. I'm going to jump into the comments real quick. Heavenly Sheep, got it. Ask the question. Bashir Gajiji says hello, hello. God First says, God bless you, brothers. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Glad to be
Urban
here.
Carlson says, hello from Sweden.
Wow.
Man, I love that. See, we're global.
Yes,
I don't know
I
if
love
y'all
it.
know that. The podcast is global. The YouTube channel is global. It blows people's mind when they get in here and they're like, dude, we had people from Sweden, from Norway, from Germany, from Israel. I mean, we've had people from all around the world get in here. So it's pretty cool. So, Urban Carlson, thank you very much. I do. I appreciate you being here. Heavenly Sheep says, I'm from Fetus, Missouri. Pretty interesting. Festus, Missouri. Let me get that right. There we go. Can I put a clean out, whatever they call it, to all my stuff, like the toilet, the shower, the washer, the sink, to make it easy to clean out? Don't know if I'm asking this correctly. You can put a clean out on any vent line that you want to. But what may happen, there may be an appliance, a fixture that is vented separately. So, or it may be one vent that covers multiple things. The IPC code kind of allows you to do that. You can have a big vent towards the end of the line, and you don't have to vent everything else. So it's possible. Plumbing companies would love to do that for you. I tell you, a lot of it you could probably do yourself, but yeah, you can. Man, I skipped this one right here. Hello from Sweden. How have the price of materials been? Rising about 12% a month. Maybe not quite that month. That's what it did during COVID. It's kind of slowed down.
Yeah.
Have you noticed price changes in the roofing side?
Absolutely. In fact, I was talking to a supplier yesterday, and he said all of them are going up again on August 5th. So if you're thinking about having a roof inspection done, call us right now or call your local roofer because
Get that quote,
they
get it
will
signed.
go up significantly. Yeah. That's never 1%, I can tell you that.
Get that quote and get it signed.
That's
that
right.
really is a big deal. And guys, look on TikTok, Instagram, TikTok, I see some comments here. And I see which code. I see something like that. I can't read the whole thing. If y'all got questions, please jump over onto YouTube, sign in. Squirt's trying to pull it up on his phone so he can tell you all
just
about
verifying.
Okay. Heavenly Sheep Hug says, I'm from, okay, that's the one from Missouri. Yeah, you're asking it correctly. You can put vents really on every vent, clean out on every vent line going up. But I want you to think about that. You're going to have a clean out plug, a clean out cover, whatever you've got, an access door on every one of those so you can get to it. You can do it. Most people don't because it looks bad. You can also think about this. Get up in the attic. Randy did this just the other day. His sink was draining slow. Got up in there. We've had problems with this one before because the HVAC drains into it. So we get upstairs. We cut the vent line. Tried blowing it out. That didn't work out very well.
Yep.
We ended up having to come back and get just a top sink sewer machine, hooked it up to the drill motor, and we really, the one we got is a little $30, $40 rigid. It works
nothing
great.
special. Yeah.
Put it on, turn it on, clean out the whole thing, and I always recommend run all 25 feet in.
Yep.
Let it clean it out, pull it back out, and you're good to go, and it worked fine.
Even with 100-degree heat,
Even
you'll
with
get through it.
He lost 10 pounds that morning. I mean, it was, and yeah, it does. It gets hot up
It was a
there.
good work day.
It is. You get in there, you get things done. It makes it all work. I'm from Nevada, Henderson.
Henderson, Nevada.
Maybe
Henderson, Nevada. Okay, I hadn't heard of that one.
That's-
Good deal. I'm just tired of like clogs in the pipes, and I wonder if I could put a clean out at all the major pipes. You bet.
You can.
Cut it open, put it in, patch your hole, make it look good, but make that clean out accessible.
Yeah. Our vent actually may be a really great spot to install a clean out
Boy, not the truth.
because, once a year I feel like it has a problem. Mm-hmm. And because that's where our main condensate goes to.
Now he's got an idea. Now you just unscrew the
Yep.
plug, run the snake in it, you're good to go.
That's
Matter of fact,
it.
we could probably just leave a drill motor and snake in
Just
there.
leave it
Just bring
there.
a battery up once a year. Plug it in, go. See you again next year.
Be ready.
Cortez says, hello from Dallas, Texas, right where we are. Now, you hadn't been in Texas too terribly long.
No, sir. Not
How
too
you
terribly.
like the heat?
Wow. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm acclimated, as I was telling you on the other side. I caught myself wearing a hoodie in 70-degree weather, which where I'm from is shorts and flip-flops. The heat is legit. It's a little tough to get used to, but I do enjoy it. It's a nice change.
70-degree weather here that's when I get on the motorcycle. When the temperature's coming up, if it's below 70, I'm not really interested in riding. It doesn't do a lot for me. But when it gets above 70, I'm good. When it gets over 100, I lose 10 pounds when I go on a motorcycle ride.
right.
Back home, my get on the bike number was 40.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No way. Ooh, I got leathers and jackets and everything, and I'm like, Squirt, welcome to the live stream. Welcome to the Saturday.
Yes, sir.
And I say welcome to Saturday. You're here every Saturday.
I'm here every Saturday.
Every single one that you see me here.
I'm just like you. I'm sitting in front of my computer or phone or tablet taking care of chat.
No, he's taking notes on what I'm doing wrong. I walk out and he'll give me a printout. It's like,
That's good
hey,
stuff.
hey, here's everything you did wrong. Here's what you said wrong. Here's what you should have done. I'm like, man, really? Come on, you're rough on me.
You tell me to document everything, so I do.
He does too. He does. Van says, hey, from Florida. Quick question. Do you have any advice on a plumbing apprentice like me that wants to become a master plumber? Let me see. Pipe fitter, HVAC tech, roofer, plumber. I'll take this one. Yeah, you know, the good thing is, number one, Vaughn, you're in the right spot. You're learning already, okay? Keep learning. And this is something I teach every tradesman at any level. Never stop learning. Do you agree? I mean, you're still learning, aren't you?
100%. And even though I'm not a plumber, I would say apprentice under someone that wants to apprentice you.
Yeah.
Find somebody who's the best in the world at what they do and who's actually going to teach you the right way. All things, plumbing, business, ethics, all of it, and learn from the best.
And they find somebody that believes in the trade and loves the trade. Everything else is second. They love the trade of plumbing. Any advice there, Randy?
Man, one of my best tricks whenever I was an apprentice, a young guy coming
know
up,
what it is.
find the oldest guy on the job and work for him, guys.
The oldest, grumpiest guy.
The oldest, grumpiest guy. The guy that they're going to tell you nobody wants to work with that man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Work with that guy because that guy is going to teach you the right way to do it for sure. He's going to let you do more than anybody else because if you're like, hey, let me do that, he's like, here, do it. Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what to do. You go for it and have fun with it.
And he's grumpy because he wants this done his way.
Right.
That's
because
it.
his way's right. He's figured it out. And you may think, look, I've got another way. Do it his way.
Yeah.
Learn it his way. Learn to do his way as good as he does. You never know when you're going to be in a position where, hey, my way won't work. I can't get the torch around right where I need it. But wait, you know what? That old grumpy guy showed me if I lay the torch here and wiggle my butt a little bit, I can move the fire just the way I want it and make that heat. Look, you never know what you're going to learn. And then somewhere down the road, 5 or 10 years later, you're going to be like, I remember that Robert Zomanick showed me how to do this. and boom, you know how to do it.
Yeah. And even $2 an hour less right now with the right guy can be $20 an hour more from you 3 years from
God,
now.
yeah.
So
Yes.
get with the right person.
You are more than welcome, Heavenly Sheep. God First says, I used to do plumbing in California, but now I'm a delivery driver for City Electric Supply. My question is, should I keep going for plumbing or electric? I know more plumbing. I can answer this, and I already know Brandon's answer. Brandon, what's the right answer here?
The right answer is yes. Like, what do you love? What do you want to do for
That's
the
the
rest of
answer.
your life? Which one of those floats your boat? Because at the end of the day, when you're driving home, do you want to have slogged through your workday or killed your workday? And there's nothing wrong with plumbing, nothing wrong with electrical, whatever the trade is, find the one you love and go for it.
Which one could you do every day the rest of your life and enjoy?
That's right.
That's it. I agree 100%. I was a pipe fitter. My father, obviously, is a plumber and didn't know what was wrong with me and what I was thinking. But it was a trade that I truly loved because, man, some of the artwork I can do with the torch now is way different than what a plumber can do with a torch, I promise.
Pretty cool. Cortez says the cable's too small. It's a small cable, but it works. We're talking about the drain cleaning cable.
Yep,
Watch
got
it.
Yep. I was with you.
You know, it is what it is. Justin Tucker says, Journeyman at Austin, Texas, checking in. One of my favorite cities on earth.
Yes, sir.
Justin, do you know, and you'll have to reply and let me know. I'm not going to be able to see it over here live. But, Justin, do you know Austin, Texas has the most amazing tacos in Texas?
The best.
Tell me I'm wrong. Just
the
try.
best.
Yeah.
How has this information been kept from me to this point?
Oh, my God. Suerte, Austin, Texas. Alfonso Hernandez says, what drain camera do you recommend for residential use? Look, I love Milwaukee. I do. Start with the one you can afford. My first camera I couldn't afford. I bought the cheapest camera, but I made it work. To be honest, the very first camera I had, I didn't buy. I rented. So what I want you to know is find one that you can afford. Find one that you can afford to use. And if you want to learn my rental story, Alfonso, reach out to me on LinkedIn. Connect with me. Would love to connect with you. But the thing is, get one you can afford and then move up. I love the Milwaukee system because I can go from like a 100-foot or 75-foot camera to a 150-foot camera to a 200 and something foot camera with bigger flex rod. And man, it's amazing. But I can take the same console and flip between them. So I do. I love it. The amazing, the beautiful Miss Chelsea Erie. How are you, girl? This girl is an apprentice. Okay, and I want to take a minute and tell everybody here. If you want something bad enough, you can get it. This young lady worked in the trade with her brother.
Wow.
As an apprentice. She had gotten in trouble in her past. And I see she's changed her picture because she used to have one with the Yeti right here because I gave her one at a networking event one time. And she used to have, that was her profile picture because I looked down and I thought, that's not really her. But the whole thing about it is she wanted to become a plumber. But she'd got in trouble in the past. She says, look, my apprenticeship, the license, it's not working, yada, yada, yada. And she was consistent. She stuck with it. She's now an apprentice plumber. She wants to be the best plumber. And to me, man, if you're willing and work hard enough to do something, you can do it. Chelsea says, put me on your Saturday Live. I would love to. We need to talk about that, get you up here and talk about apprenticeships. It's amazing. Architectural sheet metal in the house. Man, talk about roofing and stuff he's done. You need to check out this YouTube channel if you haven't seen it.
I will check it out.
Guys, if you're in here and you hadn't done it, check it out. Architectural sheet metal does some beautiful work, beautiful things, and we're starting to do all that here. I know you see the comment.
I know. I'm gonna have to
I saw
get
you
back
laugh.
into them too because I've looked at a few of your
You bet.
videos.
Great stuff.
Okay.
Cortez says Sea Snake. Rigid makes a good video. Man, they were probably the first ones out. One of the first ones out that were doing really good. I like it. I've actually got to meet the people that designed and built the original Sea Snake. So that's pretty cool. Mike Jr.
Mike Jr.
Squirt the beard.
Yes.
It's gone.
The beard's
And
gone,
nobody
man.
noticed it until Mike. I mean,
That's it.
he was in here 10 minutes.
That's it.
So last week, Squirt had a beard down to about here.
Okay.
Big, red, full.
Big full beard.
And
I've had it for 8 years. I'd cut it off right before COVID, like a week before COVID. So then I just let it grow back while we were all locked up at the house doing office work.
Okay.
So I cut it back off last weekend. My youngest was just like, hey, why don't you cut it all? Hey, why don't I cut it all? Let's do it again.
Absolutely.
And it's felt great.
It is. It's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yes.
Guys, if y'all have not checked out the app, and Colton, if you'll put a link in there to the app, I know that's it right there. I don't want to lock the Nightbot up top. So if you'll put one in and pin it to the top, that would be great, or I can. But I would appreciate that. Chelsea Uri says, Waco, says, let me show the boys how it's done. And she's phenomenal. And I love that attitude. My granddaughter has that attitude. I signed Mandy up for the Dallas Mavericks summer camp in basketball. And after I went to pick her up the first day, man, she's grinning from ear to ear. And I said, baby, tell me something. Did you learn something today? She said, oh, yeah. I said, did you have fun? She said, I had a blast. I said, what was the number one thing you learned? She said, that I can play with boys and I can beat them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's my girl right there.
Let me tell you a little about girls in the trade.
Let me hear it.
Women
Let me
in the
hear it.
trade.
I love it.
I've worked with a lot of technicians, right? I've worked with some great, some not so great, and some average. I've never worked with a female HVAC technician that's less than average, right? They are world beaters. And I'll tell you, if you love the trades, you're a female, you're thinking about getting in the trades. You know, customers love seeing a female come out and do work. I had a female HVAC installer. She came to me and she had on, she had her nails all done and the whole thing. And I said, are you sure you want to do this? You want to be in crawl spaces and attics? And she said, I want to be an installer. And I said, well, yes, ma'am. So I put her on as an apprentice on a crew. She ends up marrying the guy that, and you know what though? They wouldn't even name their first kid after me. Can you believe that?
Sad.
I know. Not even a middle name.
See, Chelsea, don't come to work for me. You'll marry me. It's kind of crazy. It's so interesting though. And I tell women that all the time. Women don't just get in the trade, they excel in the trade.
Right.
Yep.
Women normally move up a lot faster than men do. And I think it's because they're smarter. Just going to throw that out there. I didn't say it out loud.
There's also a patience factor that goes into problem solving and diagnosing and then working through issues with customers. As some of us guys are kind of bullheaded. We have a hard time. Yeah, we have a hard time with that. Sometimes.
Yes, indeed. Okay, we just went over 50 people on this screen over here. I should have been looking at both. Guys, do me a favor. Put where you're at and what you do. Where do you live and what do you do as a trade? I'd love to know what trade you're in, where you live. Are you an apprentice plumber in Waco? What is it you do? Alfonso Hernandez says, Cortez, so rigid. Yeah, rigid as sea snake. I know some plumbers are going with Milwaukee. I love Milwaukee. Can't wait to be a master. Master Chelsea. And they need to come up with a female name for that. Master. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying a woman can't be a master, but I mean like Mistress Chelsea.
Yeah, just I have an old saying: just get one day better.
There you go.
Just get one day better, Chelsea.
every
One
day.
day better. Yeah.
Amen.
I like that.
Cortez says, how accurate is the leak detection equipment that you use?
Very.
Spot on. If Brandon went in the way somewhere when that sign comes up, it says the most accurate leak detection system for plumbers.
It
And
is.
it is. It works great.
If you've ever used Geophones, Leak Pro equipment is Geophones on steroids.
And man,
Like,
it's funny. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I literally carried these to an event one day. We hosted a big networking event for tradespeople. And there was a guy there, a new plumber. He's an amazing plumber. He's down in Houston now. Rick, if you're here, hello. I literally went out to my truck and grabbed my kit because I used to carry a case with me all the time. And I brought it in, said, put on the headphones, turn the volume down, and said, look, just touch it. Just barely rub your finger. And he did. And I mean, his eyes were like, oh my God, I said, you do it. That's not me touching it.
Yep.
How soft are you touching it? And he is like, oh my gosh. He says, I want one of those. I said, every plumber in Texas should. Actually, every plumber, I know I said Texas.
yeah, every
At the time,
plumber.
It was like, that's where all I was talking about it. But man, it's amazing. You
It
agree?
is, and it's simple to use. That was my favorite thing whenever the old man here had asked me if I wanted to do anything with it. Was it's very simple. It's kind of like what I used to use 20 years ago, a listening device to be able to listen for leaks. And it was something you had around that I used to use.
It makes it amazing. Yeah.
That's it.
Everybody in TikTok and Instagram, I see the comments. I see them going by. I see something about 35 years. I'd love to be able to read your comments and call you out. If you'll jump over to YouTube and just say, hey, I'm here from, I'd love to talk to you and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea says, once I grasped the knowledge, I love plumbing. You train a lot of people. I mean, everywhere from getting in to all the way up to becoming the best. What's the hardest to grasp?
Well, there's a lot that's hard to grasp. Our trade is a little bit of a grind. You have to be okay with that, right? If you're coming from an 8 to 5 punch in, punch out job, that's not what we do. We take care of customers, and that happens between the hours of midnight and midnight, right?
Yeah.
So that can be a hard thing to grasp. But really,
And when he says midnight to midnight, he doesn't mean this long of a
Yeah, he
period.
doesn't.
He means all the way
all
around.
the way around the
Yeah.
clock, and
You bet.
that is probably the hardest thing that burns on some people. But really, too, it's ongoing training. I think a hard thing for people to grasp is the fact that you never really arrive at where you're at, right? And so when you're new, you might be in for 3 months and go, okay, I got it. And then you go out and work on a system that you've never seen before.
Yeah, you don't got it
And
no
then
more.
you're going, oh my gosh, like you feel like a rookie all
I know
over
nothing.
again. It happened to me 3 days ago. You know, I just felt like a rookie all over again. I had to tell my technician, I said, I don't know, but I'm going to go find out. And I started
bet.
making some phone calls. But here's the best part about our industry. You know, we compete in everything, but guys in this industry and gals in this industry, we all love each other. And there's a ton of people willing to help you. You are never alone in that.
Yeah.
So let go of the fact that you got to go out and be the big dog and you got to do it all yourself and you got to forge your own way and all that, and open your mind to go, I'm probably going to see something today I haven't seen before, and I'm going to figure out who can help me.
I love
That's
that.
it.
Architectural Sheet Metal says, I want to teach my trade online. Any advice? All the advice in the world. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Let's talk. Alex, I'm involved with Go High Level. They've got a place where you can put your courses on. Look, Randy's been studying this too.
I've been working
and
with
it's
it
like,
all.
this is magic. I can help you out, brother. Jared Tucker, what is up? It's been a while. Says roofing question. I will refer this way. Says, how do you feel about solar panels on the roof? Does insurance pay to remove these from the roof and reinstall? Does insurance even cover solar panels?
Maybe. Are they damaged? Are we talking about a storm situation? If they're damaged in a storm, there are things called supplements that you can use to get additional things covered by the roofing or by the insurance company. But think of yours, if this is a storm claim situation, think of it more as a whole storm claim. It could be gutters, it could be siding, it could be your fence, it could be the limb that hit your shed, it could be your roof, it could be your solar panel, it could be all of those things.
You bet.
So the answer is it depends on what we are claiming, and when was the last hailstorm? How big was the hail? There's a lot that goes into it.
And also, you've got to learn to speak insurance.
Yes.
That is important. That's something that I learned. Once I learned to speak insurance, I don't think I've lost anything for a customer. You've got to know what they're insured for, what they're not. And I love it because when the insurance company asked me, can you prove that this leak caused this problem?
Yes.
And I'm like, you know what? To be honest, I can't. But it looks that way. Can you prove to me it didn't? Because if you can, I need to know, because I've been doing this for 45 years.
Right. I'm going to give you an insurance nugget
And
here
you can
too.
hear their rear end exit pucker up.
So the relationship between insurance adjusters and contractors is somewhat adversarial, right? Here's how you have to think of it. Your insurance adjuster is kind of like the prison guard, right? They own you.
Oh yeah.
So be nice, right? Be the nice guy. Like
Every opportunity.
I literally, when I'm on an insurance adjuster meeting and they pull up, I'll be, hey, can I help you get the ladder off your truck? Would you like me to go up with you, or would you like me to stay down here?
Randy says, hey, I'll go up and do this.
Yeah,
He's
can
like,
I work the chalk? Right? All of those different things.
Yes.
And if the insurance adjuster hands you the chalk, you're probably getting the roof. Yeah. So be kind and be polite and be nice and work with them, because they own you.
Yep. Jared, remember that. Yes. Just got accepted into the apprenticeship program at my local gas utility as a utility mechanic trainee. We work on everything underground, tapping mains and doing repairs. Man, good for you.
Congratulations.
That is a great knowledge to learn.
That is
awesome.
awesome.
That really is. That is fantastic. So congratulations to you. I hope it works out really, really well. God First says, thank you. I do appreciate. You're more than welcome. Andrew, I do have a LinkedIn. Just look for Roger Wakefield. Justin says, that's why I'm fat. That might be my problem.
Tacos.
Tacos, you told Justin, how good are they? You can't even.
It's only a few hours from here, right?
To tell you how good they are. Yeah. The Suadero tacos at Suerte. And I tell people, every time I meet people that tell me, and I mean, I probably met 4 or 5 people this last week at a conference. They're like, I'm from Austin. It's like, oh my God, do you know you'll have the best tacos in the world? And they're like from Mexico or something. Like,
They don't even know.
You have no idea. You don't even know what you're talking about. It's like, let me tell you where to go. And then when you meet somebody that's been there, they're like, no, he's right.
Yep.
He's right. And they'll spit out the name before I even have to say it. Like, you're talking about the Suadero tacos. Absolutely. Vaughn says, how did you learn the whole plumbing system in and out? You know, I love this because I'll answer this, but then I'll ask them too. I've worked in commercial, residential, industrial, new construction, service, non-union, union. I've done just about anything, and I've even done utilities. So I can say, look, I've pretty much had my hand in plumbing all the way around in every bit of it. And it wasn't just, I did that for a day. I did that for years. And until I got in the union and just went straight commercial, then when I got out straight commercial and decided, look, I'm going to open my own residential company, but I had done it all. And that's why, look, I tell people all the time, I've got every endorsement in Texas, every master endorsement. I don't think there's anything I can't talk about. If there is, I'm going to find out the answer. What about you? How do you learn the industry so well inside and out?
My brother was really hard on me. I have a brother that's 8 years older than me, and when I was a teenager, he was out. He's running his own company and doing everything. And when I used to go and help him and try to learn, the thing he always was saying to me is, you can't learn anything while you're running your mouth. And so, like, you got to learn how to quit talking and listen and learn, because there's so much to do. But I mentioned it to Chelsea a little while ago, but get one day better. You're not going to learn this trade in a day or a week or a month or a year. But if you can be a day better than you were yesterday, take something away from absolutely every job. And the other way to learn things is to teach things. So when you learn and you're working with another apprentice on that job and you're going to go teach him how to do something, invest in them as well.
And even that, I love the teaching thing, because I think that's one of the biggest things. If you don't have anybody to teach, if you're an apprentice and you don't have an apprentice under you, write it down step by step like you would if you were teaching somebody. That is going to help put every single step in your mind so that you know next time you go to it, it's like, well, after this, I do this. After this, I do this. After this, I do this. So, Squirt, what do you think? What helped you really learn it inside and out?
Yeah, so like let's take plumbing, okay? Because I grew up, my whole family was plumbers and things like that. So I was the little guy that got thrown in all the little holes and go dig this, go dig that.
That's why he's so big now. He just like eats a lot. He's like, look, you ain't putting me in the little holes anymore.
I started eating so that they couldn't put me in the holes. All right.
Yeah, me too.
And, but like honestly, whenever I was a teenager, there was a summer I worked with the guy across the street, and we did rough ends and top outs on new residential homes. And that's the underground and the build out up. We did fixtures one time, and I said, no, that takes way too long. Let's stick with the rough ends and top outs because we make so much more money on those because we were both like working machines. So that's where I truly learned the full functionality of the system to understand it all beyond what you can see.
Gotta love it. Brian Williams says, hello from Savannah, Georgia. Shout out to local 188 pipe fitters.
All right. That's what I'm
Brian,
talking
if you
about.
got any pins, send them to us. I don't know that I've got a 188.
Okay.
Savannah, Georgia doesn't sound familiar to me. And we pulled out our pins the other day and looked at them. I probably got, 100 pins, something like that?
Four
I got
lanyards,
four full lanyards,
full,
just
100%.
full of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and that's something we need to talk about. I got to work on my pins. So if you know what I'm talking about, you know. Jedi Stud Muffin says, I love Roger. You know, everybody does. I
Great,
like that.
great name, by the way.
I know,
Yes.
I
You
know.
win the name contest.
Chelsea Early says, I would love to know how I shall go about handling a boss or brother responsible master plumber on job sites. Man, I'm going to put this one over on you. So her brother's a master plumber.
Okay.
Great guy.
Yeah.
Chelsea's out in the field a lot. I'm going to say all the time. Although she does come in, start the company up, get things going, and then
Okay.
get out. They're not always on the same page.
Gotcha.
How does Chelsea, I'm going to call you a first year apprentice, just because I know when you got your apprentice card. She's got more experience than that, and she understands it. She doesn't just come in and say, "Okay, I'm here to work. What do I do?" She comes in like, "Wait, I want to do that. I want to learn that. I want to do that." How does she handle it? Chelsea, I tell you what, jump back in and tell us what kind of problem you're having.
Yeah.
Let's get.
I was
a little
about to
deeper.
make two assumptions. So
Yeah, I know,
this is good.
and let's don't assume,
Yeah.
because we know what that does. So Chelsea, jump back in and say, "Here's my problem," and I'll take a picture of it and send it to your brother. No, I'm joking. Skill Savvy DIY, because I know he's not watching me. Skill Savvy DIY says, do all trades. Okay, there is nothing you can't learn. I personally have a good skill set in pipe fitting, pipe welding, HVAC, MVAC, electrical, plumbing, and automotive. There's nothing you can't learn. Brother, you win. Right, the best comment of the day right there. Here's what, matter of fact, watch this. I'm going to pin that. So here's what I'm telling you. You said literally what I try to teach people. You can learn your way up out of anything. If your company's not making enough money, guess what? You can learn to make more money. If your company does not have a good culture, guess what? You can learn new culture. I interviewed Brandon a while ago for the podcast. If y'all have not checked out the Trade Talks, the podcast, you need to. In a couple of weeks, his will be up. Go check it out. It's great information. So you're right. There's nothing you can't learn. Plumber from Wisconsin, Jedi Stud Muffin, thank you so much. Vaughn says, how did you learn the ins and out of the whole plumbing system? We did that. There's the link to the Wakefield app. Ooh, now I need to pin that. And I'm going to have to try to come over here. See, this is why I don't like this. Thank you, vidIQ. You're going to disappear. What's the time on that? 11:19, and I don't get times over here, so this will be fine. Look for the good-looking plumber with the big mustache. Oh, there we go. See, it worked. So I'm going to pin this one here.
Down one.
Is it not that one I did?
Nope.
Oh, okay. So, we got a poll going, too.
We do.
I didn't even know that. Good deal. So I'm going to come right there and replace the pinned one. So anyway, there it is right there. See if I can read Chelsea's comment. Oh, for sure. I'm super meticulous, and the customers love me. Chelsea, everybody loves you. You've got the most amazing attitude. That's what's going to make you.
Yo, you ain't kidding.
It is. That's everything in the world right there, guys. If you can develop an amazing attitude, why you none? Yeah, you didn't like working with me.
Hey, no, I hated working with you for a long time, and then I got older, and I was like, oh, I get it now.
What he said makes sense. 12 years later.
I feel like I need to excuse myself. For that.
Yeah, it can be rough.
Most people are surprised that I work for him today. Like, they're like, how do you do that? And it's like, look, I've learned. I understand now.
There's a reason behind it. Yeah, it's not just oh gee, Dad's turning left. Don't know why.
Right.
It's like, wait, what are we turning left for? Okay, now I see it. So, and I should be better at that at communication, letting people know, look, this is why I'm doing this. Him, I don't have to anymore. It's like, hey, I want you to look at this.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, here we go. And he'll come back later like, hey, I see that. Or, hey, why are you even looking at that? So it's good. It's open communication. Nelson Guzman says, hello from Los Angeles, next gen. There you go. Chelsea says, oh, for sure. Yeah, I read that a while ago. Meticulous and the customers love me. Nelson says, my page is Plumber of the Valley. There you go. Yeah, even the Nightbot says, guys, look, go check out the Wakefield app. I'll tell you right now, guys, if you're in here, if you've got Apple, text to the word Wakefield to 26786. If you've got an Android,
Yeah.
oh, God, text the word Outhouse. That's a little more fitting. To 26786.
If you have an Android, go buy an iPhone.
Yeah, if you have an Android, just throw it out the window on the way to the nearest iPhone store.
Or make the company you work for get you one.
And educate you on it. Spend time learning it.
Give you time to learn it and figure it out.
There's good things about it. There's also bad things about it.
That's right.
They're just like anything in life.
Pros and cons to both
Yep.
worlds.
There you go, Mr. Cortez. Love that. Chelsea says, yes, I need to bring my butt up there. Yes, you do. And I'm at 10, 11, 20, so I'm not too far back. Chris Wilson, checking in from Tyler, Texas. Can you give me any info on the new master test? I'm taking my master's in August, but I heard there's a new way they're doing it. I'm trying to find ways to prep for it. Man, I'm going to tell you, I love this question. And Chris, thank you for bringing it up, because this is a video I need to make. Number one, look, if you've seen my videos where I teach people how to study for the plumbing exam through the UPC study guide, it's amazing. Go to the back, find the right answers, highlight them, read it like a book for about a month. Seriously, read it like a book. Then about a week before the test, go through it, cover the correct answers, read the question. If you do not know the answer immediately, highlight that number in pink, okay? Then go through the whole week before your test and read nothing but the pink questions. Read it, and when I mark it, I highlight the correct answer. When I'm reading that book, I read the question, the correct answer, nothing else. I don't even look at the wrong answers. I don't want to see it. I don't want to think about it. All I do is read the question and the right answer, nothing else. I could have Brandon ready to pass the plumbing exam in a month, the written part, guaranteed.
Wow.
Guaranteed. It's that good. But here's what I'm going to tell you. You're right. They've changed the freaking exam. So, man, I had Frank Denton up here, the chairman of the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners. God bless him. Him and Lisa are doing an amazing job. They've turned that thing around and doing wonderful. And I asked Frank, I said, so Frank, so man, where y'all get the questions at? Like do the plumbing unions have them? Because they've pretty much had every question forever. Do any of the continuing ed provider, who's got the questions now? He says, nobody.
Nobody.
I said, what do I got to do to get them? He says, we ain't getting them to anybody. And we don't know where they're getting them. I mean, I'm sure it's through the code books. It's through stuff like that. But guys, here's the deal. Study. Just study, learn, pay attention, be educatable. That's huge. Chelsea says, I pay attention way more than anyone. That's what it takes.
Yes, it does.
Andrew says, are there toilet shutoff valves that are
Soldered.
Soldered nowadays, do they sell them? Absolutely. My dad's afraid, and please call me Paul. I like to be called that on every live video you do. I would change the name of your channel, Paul.
Remind him.
Yeah, remind me, because I'll forget.
Yep.
I answer a million of these a day. So there you go, Paul. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Nicholas Rogers, South Carolina master electrician, which you need here in Texas, a master Texas electrician. Man, let me get this right. Dude son steal my email. And I hope I got that right. Dude son steal my email and forgot to mention that I am now in the union as well. Look, I love the union. People look at a lot of my videos and they say, you hate the union. No, I don't like what the head person of the local union and local union 100 did to me when I was trying to start a company. We had disagreements. We all have disagreements. I was trying to do things no residential company had done, and I didn't feel I got supported by it. The current regime says, hey, Roger, you're right. He didn't like you. So there's reasons. But as for anybody right now growing up that says, I want to get in the trades and I want to be a commercial plumber when I grow up, mic drop. Join the union. Yep. They're going to send you to school for 5 years and pay for it. You're going to have to go at night on your time. But you start getting paid at a good paying job the first day you show up. The day you go to work, you're on salary. You're not salary. You're on the clock. You get paid. Yep. And then at night, you go to school 2 nights a week, you get paid to learn plumbing. Sounds pretty good to me. And you're getting money put in your pension and your insurance is being paid. There's so many good benefits about it.
Tons of good benefits.
Welcome to the union. If you want to be residential in most states, I would tell you, in Texas, I would tell you, don't join the union. They're going to teach you commercial work. Nothing wrong with that. You get to learn what's in the walls behind it, but I don't hate the union. Chelsea says, we are lifesavers in the plumbing industry. Willingness to work and OT is what makes you a hero. Yeah, willingness to work that OT.
Yeah.
And it's not even OT. Chelsea, it's willingness to take care of your customers whenever they need to be taken care
No matter what it takes.
Cortez says, what am I spamming? What's wrong with the bot? Ask a question, and you give me a warning.
Oh.
I didn't even see it. If you use all caps, if you use curse words, anything like that, Randy's got it set up where it's like, we will zap you. Antonio de la Cerda, A-Team Plumbing, says, thank you for telling us to go over to the YouTube. A-Team is up here in Tulsa. I love it. Nice. And we are watching and listening to you on a commercial job site. Then you like the fact that I just said, look, I love commercial. Man, commercial, you get to learn in a big scale what plumbing's like. Then when you look at a house, it's like, and Randy will agree, playing pool on an 8-foot table.
Yep.
When you go down to the 6-foot table, it's like, dude, I got this. Y'all watch this.
Cakewalk.
It is like, man, this is easy to do.
Pop smaller, everything's smaller.
Yeah.
It's easier to handle and control. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. Now, have you ever worked in commercial or with commercial companies? I know you've worked with some that do commercial.
I worked for a very large commercial company for a few years.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's the big differences in commercial and residential culture?
Yes. The culture of the company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually worked for a very large, in the early 2000s, they were a $400 million a year company. And that had a really, really great culture, actually. The owners understood and they did it great. The thing that I like more about residential, and this is just for me, but I like working with homeowners. I like working with decision makers. I like working with people that are buying so that they can, because they kind of want it more. Versus, if you're working a commercial job, oftentimes it goes to the lowest bidder. You don't have as great a relationship with the project manager on site that's making the decisions and things like that. But
just huge.
Yeah, because I'm a people person first. I've had customers invite me to their kid's wedding. Like it's, I love the residential side for that. Plus, getting paid is a lot easier because you get paid the day you do the job, and then you do a 1 day job, and then you go do another job the next day. It's for cash flow. It's a lot better.
I love that.
Yeah.
My brother, Mr. Steve Arloa, is in the house from Hawaii. Do you want a plumbing job in Hawaii?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. It's like, I'll hire.
I will come hose down your driveway.
Yeah, no doubt. Matter of fact, I'll get out there and buff your driveway every day.
Let's go.
Brother Steve, good to see you in here. I jump in your lives every now and then. It pops up. I jump in here, what y'all are talking about. Normally, I'm running 90 miles an hour, so I don't get to stay and hang out. But, man, I do. Y'all are doing some cool stuff. Another channel, guys, if you haven't subscribed to it, jump over to Steve Arloa. It's cool. Chelsea, you are so welcome. I got to tell you, every time I look at your profile picture, I'm like, wait, where's the other one? Really, I'm just looking to see if I'm in your profile picture. David Emmanuel says, Roger has done it all. He's also a health and wellness consultant as well as a professional foot model. How does he know everything I do? I didn't think people knew about the foot model thing. Okay, my
Some of
fans
us
only
didn't.
page is just like, it's blowing up.
I may have filmed a short.
Yeah, exactly. Cortez says, if you use too many emojis, not bot will do that. There you go. Thank you, brother. Urban Carson says, question, underfloor heat or radiant? Now, you've been up in Seattle, so
yes.
you should know a lot about this.
Yeah.
We got to see it because with Renai, they've got a combi boiler.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, my God.
Sold tons of them.
Amazing. Okay, go ahead. So underfloor heat or radiant? Which
Personal preference, the underfloor heat is amazing. I mean, just walking around on your floors and having it warm, and I mean, you don't have the cold tile and all that. It is, and it's the installations are super clean, and you don't have radiators to change sitting out that are sitting. They're kind of ugly. Some of them. I mean, I guess they're more decorative now than they used to be, but as far as aesthetics go. And then a lot of those homes that are doing those radiant systems, a lot of those are smaller homes. And so there's not a lot of room to have radiators sitting out and about. The underfloor heating is the Lamborghini, and the radiators
that stuff is so cool.
are the not. It's great.
Renai, shout out to you. The job that we went up to
Albany, New York.
for. Oh my gosh. If y'all have not seen that video, man, go check it out. It's cool. I love Renai. But going up there and getting to see this, and I don't remember the name of the company up there, but oh my gosh, these guys, man, they get it. They understand it. And to see the installation, how well they do it and how sharp they are, it blew my mind. I was super duper impressed.
And those combi units are awesome, and they're super reliable, very low breakdown rates. Like, they are fantastic.
So
I love it. Okay, so Chelsea gives us a little more information here. Says we're both hard-headed, and I see things he doesn't. But his ego won't allow him to admit I'm correct. That's just a little bit of info.
Okay.
Okay, so hold on. Before he answers, I realize now I'm looking at your YouTube profile picture, not your Facebook profile picture. So I'll have to go check that out and see, if I'm not blocked or something. Go check it out and see. You never know. Go see. Okay, now the next one. Corey, my brother, is a genius, and he is. I love talking to Corey about business. Ann is a genius and can do anything, and I'm always wanting to learn from him, but he gives me the toughest time. Does that sound familiar to you?
Chelsea, I know the shoes you're wearing. This is what I was coming up under, and same stuff. He's going to be hard on you, but it's actually going to make you the best tradesperson you can be. I know it's hard to see that right now.
Every day.
Because you're seeing red whenever they talk sometimes. Because they wear red or something, no telling, or they don't. It doesn't matter. But it really will make you better. Sometimes hear them out, and sometimes they're not going to listen to your opinion on things, and
Even
that's
if you're
okay.
right.
I've had a lot of apprentices ask me that. They're like, look, I'm with a journeyman that they want to do it this way. Well, I know that this other way is so much easier. And I'm like, look, do it their way. That is who you are working under right now. Later, you will get to decide your way to do it.
Yeah.
And then you get to pick and teach apprentices your way, not
I love that.
anybody else.
Okay,
Can I weigh in?
so Brandon, here, absolutely. So remember, we're both hard-headed, and I see
Yes.
things he doesn't.
Yeah.
But his ego won't allow him to admit that she's correct.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to my brother a little bit, too. My brother's an excavator. And I can't tell you how many times he threatened that he was going to climb down off that excavator and permanently relocate that shovel to some place that I was not going to enjoy.
You wouldn't be able to see it.
Yeah, correct. So, and I'm just going to say this, Chelsea, and you don't know me very well, but I'm a very direct person, okay? And you're awesome, so here we go.
Yeah.
Your brother's not here right now, so I can't help him, so I'm going to try to help you a little bit. You might be a little bit hard-headed sometimes too, Chelsea, maybe. I don't know. But this is a communication issue between you and your brother. So sometimes your brother is right as well. And sometimes your brother is hard-headed. And sometimes you are right. And sometimes you are probably hard-headed as well. So what you need to do is establish a better communication path with your brother so that you guys can work through these issues. Now it's hard because it's family and you guys hang out on Thanksgiving and those other times as well. But know exactly what he said. Your brother is trying to teach you. He may not know how to communicate well with you, but he is trying to teach you, because if he hated your guts and didn't want you there, he wouldn't teach you anything at all. He wouldn't speak to you, right? And so he's kind of doing it in his way. So I guess what I'm saying is sometimes you might just have to check yourself, learn the lesson, but in the background, you and your brother need to establish a way to communicate with each other so that it's productive and helpful and not causing both of you to shut down and then try again the next day.
Yeah, not derogatory.
Correct.
Absolutely. Good stuff. Great stuff. And hold on, but before we move on, and I know you got something. You said something earlier, too, about how to stay cool in the conversation.
Yes.
You take the emotion out of it.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Because that was a great explanation.
Yeah. So there's a level of understanding to get through if you need to have a tough conversation with someone or you're not communicating well. Oftentimes, and people in the trades are very animated, and we get upset and we chuck tools and we do all this stuff. Okay. So hear this one, Chelsea. This is super important. Behavior is driven by circumstance. Your brother's acting the way he's acting because of the circumstance that you're in. I'm going to challenge you to ignore the behavior, ignore the way he's talking to you, ignore the way he says what he says. If he's upset and using swear words and throwing his hands in the air and huffing and puffing, ignore the behavior. The moment you ignore the behavior, the circumstance will come rushing to the forefront and you can deal with the circumstance. But if you're focused on the behavior, that is all you will ever be trying to correct is your brother's behavior, and you will never succeed, ever.
Okay, go ahead, Squirt. I know you were fixing to say something.
I was just going to say, wanted to welcome everybody that's just tuning in to the Blue Collar Hangout. Enter any questions in. We're talking all trades today.
Absolutely. Steve Arloa says, show support for Roger, or show support for the blue collar community.
Yeah.
By hitting the like button, make sure you're subscribed and share this out. Yeah, y'all can hit the share button at the bottom. I used to love that. And I'll tell you another thing. If y'all do this, take a selfie of you right now with the screen behind you. Post it on social media. Tag me, and I'll make sure that my team shares it so it goes out to my entire community. Good stuff. I love that. Thank you, Brother Steve. Oh, let's see. Can we get caught up a little bit? Grouchy Pimp. Man, you want to talk about a good name. Shout out to everybody in the plumbing trade. Austin, Texas in the house. I love it. Okay, so Grouchy Pimp, and I'm looking at the comments over here. I'm going to roll up so the VidIQ crap goes away. Sorry, did I say that out loud? Grouchy Pimp, here's what I want you to do. If you are in Austin, like it says, I'm assuming, and if you've been to Suerte and had their tacos, I want to know. And man, I don't know what happened. My right ear just closed. Local 68 in the house. Hello, Houston, Texas. See, I know that one. Isaiah Paris says, I want to work. Then, depending on where you're at, the trades are a great opportunity. There's over 1 million unfilled trades jobs unfilled right now. It's not hard to get a job. Yeah, calling. There you go. You want to be a roofer? Express Home Services in Richardson, Texas.
Let's go.
David Emanuel says, I've done plumbing and TV commercials. Does that count as commercial plumber? It does. Good for you. I love that, man. Master Plumber Utah. What's up, Roger? Man, it's great. We had fun in Utah.
We did.
Shot videos in Utah about more of the HVAC. It's like a multi-split system where, man, there's set lines everywhere going to different units. Pretty freaking cool. I love it.
That's cool.
Dakota Yankton, what is up? How we doing? Brother Steve Orloa says it again. Guys, hit the stuff and buy the merch. Okay? That's all it's about. Just do it. Jonathan Boob. I was trying to say bourbon, but it's not. Jonathan Boble Brun. Man, tongue twister.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, love watching y'all. Thank you so much. Chelsea, don't you be laughing. Steve Orloa says, gonna pop in a house today with my ex-business partner from my last company. Which one of y'all are going to get buried under the? Just that's the first thought popped into my mind. I got some exes I would not want to be on a job site with because it's like I'm going to bury somebody. I love that work. I don't work anymore. If you love what you do, it's not work. You know, it's true. Look, we have fun. People laugh at me, and I was at a conference one time. Sorry, I got to talk to my TikTokers or Instagrammers or. Yep. Okay, verified again.
Puzzle
See, I'm pausing the whole show for you guys. I love that. I love that. Y'all are my community.
That's cool.
So yeah, you know, the funny thing, I was at a conference talking to a guy, and we're talking, and I'm talking about how much I love what I do and all that. And I walk up, and this guy had just kind of walked up, and I had to leave. I said, "Hey, nice to meet you." And he looks at who I was talking to and says, "Man, he's a plumber?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "He really doesn't love plumbing like that, though, does he?" He's like, "Hey, you need to see his videos." And I do. I love crawling around under houses. I love finding the problem. I love resolving it. I love talking to people over the phone. I have fixed people's tankless water heaters over the phone. Take a picture, send it to me. Let me see. No, don't touch that. Do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, I get this. And she's like, I need to pay you. It's like, you know what? You were connected through a friend.
Yeah.
We're good.
One of my wife's stated reasons for divorce was that every time we drove through a neighborhood, I kept telling her which homes I put the furnace in. You know, like she hated it.
Chelsea lives there.
Because I loved it. I loved it.
Rebecca lives there.
Yeah.
I've taken care of her stuff. Yeah. It doesn't always work out great. Chelsea says, awesome advice. I greatly appreciate it and agree wholeheartedly. And yes, I'm hard-headed. Paul Johnson, what's up? Roger Wakefield, it's a beautiful day in Dallas, Texas. I'm living the most amazing life I could ever imagine. I want y'all to know that. I get to do so much fun stuff for so many amazing people. Shield Papa, how we doing? Says hello. Awesome to catch you guys live. We agree. Yeah. Chelsea Early says, I'd love to show him what y'all would advise him to do or how to be a better teacher. Chelsea, I'll tell you what you can do. You can go, once we stop this video, you can go back to the point that Brandon gave you the advice and share it from that point. That was like creating a clip.
Yeah.
And you can send it to him where he says, look, he gives the advice.
Counseling services cost extra.
Yeah,
Chelsea. This is a free.
Send the money to me.
Live,
Send the money to me. I'll collect it. Don't worry. He'll get it.
Honestly, though, Chelsea, email me sometime. I'll shoot you my phone number. We could talk about conversations and navigating
and
this.
how to
Please
have them.
do.
Absolutely. Paul Johnson says, Indiana plumber here. Good to have you in the house. Chelsea Early says, Chelsea Erie, I keep saying early, I know. And let him know to practice what he preaches. Yeah, go ahead and mention that line real loud, then you can cut it there and send it too.
Yeah, and next time tell him to calm down too.
Yeah. And, you know, and Chelsea, this is funny, but this has worked before. If he gets louder, you get softer.
Oh, yes.
When he starts screaming and yelling, you just start talking a little bit softer. Because here's the thing. He's got to shut up to hear you. And he has to get quiet to hear you. And if you'll do it right, you'll say him, lean in. Because he's trying to get that ear positioned where he can hear. And I'm telling you, it works.
It works.
It's crazy. It works. Practice what he preaches. And you did admit you're hard-headed. Think about that sometimes, too. Just saying. There's two people in the conversation. And neither one of you can control how it goes.
That's it.
Isaiah Press says, do you think it's possible to be a plumbing apprentice without a phone? Yeah, I do, because I didn't have a phone when I was a plumbing apprentice. But I think you can learn a lot more with one. Not that you need your phone with you every day, because I think as an apprentice, you don't need it on the job. Unless you're using it for math or calculations, but they do make calculators. Yeah, it's possible. But you don't get to watch me without it. Or anybody else. You don't get to look stuff up. You don't get to go into YouTube and say, how do I change this cartridge? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of reasons why I see it would be very beneficial.
I was going to say, like, things have changed now, so you may actually need that phone nowadays. That, like, because
now, I can look stuff up.
It's such a handy tool to have with you that it may be difficult to be an apprentice and not have that tool.
Depends on your company, too. My guys electronically clock in and clock out on their phone. Their software.
They use it for directions. They do a bunch of different things. Charlotte Pop has an app that literally will tell you spacing on pipe per code, all kinds of different things.
Fitting takeoffs, everything.
Fitting takeoffs.
Like,
There's a million things in there.
I use it for too many things now. I feel like
There you go.
And I don't know this too, as a business owner, if a young man came to me that was an apprentice and was awesome and a rock star and wanted to work real hard and do that, I'd buy him a phone if he said something like, hey, will you buy me a phone and I'll make sure the shop looks tip-top shaped every day before I leave? Boom. I will go buy you the nicest iPhone you've ever seen.
Have you got home and checked your package yet?
Correct.
It's on your front porch,
Amazon
brother.
just delivered it.
Yeah, I just got the notification. And it's the
Yes.
iPhone 15.
Yes.
So you're going to stay for a while. David Emmanuel says, the way I communicate with my brother is with a wrestling match. Loser learns something new. That is pretty good. I may bet on Chelsea, though, not Corey.
Right. My brother would whoop my
just
butt every
saying.
time. I wouldn't have stood a chance.
I'm just saying, man, she works out a lot. And I mean, I'd be like, yes, ma'am, you win. Chelsea says, thanks so much, guys.
Couldn't have told me that before I called her hard-headed?
I know.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Roger.
no, I'm going to let you, give you just enough rope, brother.
just enough.
David Emmanuel says, I'm sure Chelsea is a good listener, hence the last name.
That's a good one.
You got to
That's
love
a
that.
good one.
That's pretty good. Steve says, I love residential plumbing, different houses, customers, and endless plumbing issues to fix. And you mentioned that about the difference in commercial
Camera.
culture. The cool thing about that is I love this because as a residential electrician, plumber, HVAC tech, it doesn't matter. You're on different jobs all the time,
Yes.
doing different things all the time. It's really pretty cool. It's
There's
a lot of
variety
fun.
in everything.
It makes it pretty neat.
Best part about the trades.
Yeah. Sage Northcott says, how you doing leak location without a floor plate? Square, would you care to explain?
So here,
all yours.
you hold the tool.
Okay.
I'll be the floor.
Okay.
So with my equipment, you just put the tip on the floor and take a listen. You don't need a deck plate because the floor is a deck.
Your headphones plug in right here. You've got headphones on. The truth is, wherever this reaches out and touches, I don't want to touch it because I can't reach it. No more. My arms ain't that long. Whatever this touches is what it hears.
Yep.
And that deck plate is really just listening to what's under the concrete. When you put that probe down on the concrete, it does the same thing. You're looking at a deck plate like Leaktronics has or like Geophones have. Either way, they're listening to what's under the concrete. We take the tip of that laid on the concrete. It does the exact same thing. I like this even better. Not dissing either one of them. I love both of them. Have learned to use both of them. The thing is, when I put that pin right here, if I hear it louder, I know my leak is right here. With the deck plate, it may be here, it may be here, it may be here, it may be here. This gives me,
Smaller
we designed
surface.
the most accurate leak detection system for plumbing.
That's it.
How'd I do?
Good. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Just saying, I was trying. Hal Bloney says, seems way easier to find trades work than tech work nowadays, at least up here in Canada. I have a comp sci MSc.
Computer science.
Ooh, man, look at you. And
I thought about that once.
would actually commit to an apprenticeship if trades were hiring MSCs. Well, number one, most trades don't need. They don't. Am I right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
So they can use
Computer
like
science is a good thought processor.
yeah.
it. Like I tell you what, you could probably learn BIM and CAD,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you would
and
excel in
crush
it.
it.
Like because that more or less is what it is.
You bet.
You can turn coding into that in a way also.
And estimating and everything else. There's so many good
Yes.
things on the computer that people in the trades move up. But I think learning the trades and then moving up would help. Steve Arloa, you're right. Chelsea Erie, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. They appreciate it.
Yeah.
The conversation is wonderful. And we'll be here 25 more minutes. Yeah. Oh, look at Nightbot. I guess somebody asked what it says. If you have any bad plumbing related video or any plumbing videos,
Yep.
good or bad. And I love this, and I don't mention this enough. Guys, if you've got pictures of your work, good or bad, go over to my subreddit, Roger Wakefield Posts. Pictures, videos. You can say it's somebody else's bad plumbing, and even if it's yours.
You don't have to claim it.
No. I'd love to see plumbing, electrical, HVAC, just good trades work or bad trades work. We talk about all of it.
We just like to talk trades.
There you go. Julie Jones in the house says, hey guys, awesome trio today. I believe both y'all know her.
One of my favorite people in the. You won't meet a kinder, nicer, sweeter person than Julie Jones. Good luck.
Wait, I know her. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Julie, good to see you in here. I'm playing.
Here.
Julie,
I got him, Julie. Don't worry.
There you go. No, Julie, she's wonderful. Good to have you in here. Sage Northcutt says there's no issue with picking up the tip rubbing. I don't get it, but okay. I get really scared talking to people. Isaiah, look, it's just like anything else. You can learn to do it. If you learn the trade good enough, you're not just talking to people. You are the professional. You're the expert. You're the one that understands something that they need help with. And all you're doing is educating them. And people say, man, I could never do that.
Yeah.
Can you tell someone how you tied your shoes? Yeah, I pulled the strings up. I looped it through. I pulled it through. I made a loop. I went around it and pulled it through and did it like that. Now, once you get it down to where you understand it that easy, it's easy to talk to anybody about it. Do you agree?
Yeah, Isaiah, I have a very, very bad stuttering problem that used to be really bad, and it caused me to be a very quiet kid, believe it or not. And so you can learn and everything. And I've spoken on stage in front of thousands of people before, but I'm going to give you a little tip. And here's what I did when I first got into sales. I went and I practiced in the mirror, and I did it staring at myself. And do you know how uncomfortable that is to stare at yourself while you talk about something? It's very uncomfortable. And you know what? Pretty soon, my uncomfortableness was staring at myself started going like this. And over time, it went down. And then what I would do is I would go practice on my wife. And I would say, the moment you feel like I'm selling you something, just raise your hand.
Oh, that's
and
huge.
then I would stop and go back upstairs in front of the mirror,
Man, that is
change
good.
my words, change my facial expressions and everything. And if you spend 8 minutes a day training in front of the mirror, a year from now, you'll be an expert. I promise you, check back in with me in a year.
That is so good. And Square, you've until you came to work for me, you never stood in front of a camera and talked, did you?
Hey, I was going to say, me being here today, this is all practice. This is me standing in front of my mirror and talking to you. And thanks for putting up with me because, I know where I came from.
Same place I did, the field. So I get it. Steve Arlow says, my first 15 years in plumbing was in Detroit, Michigan. Last 15 years here in Oahu, Hawaii. Huge difference. And I don't miss plumbing in Detroit. Don't miss Detroit at all. Yeah, I think we would all say, yeah, we would all believe in that.
He's like 7 hours behind us. If we got an airplane right now, we could be there for dinner.
Man, see, I like the way you think, brother. And it's funny because we were talking about Hawaii earlier in the podcast, talking about the customer service at the Ritz-Carlton and the way they're like, look, do whatever it takes to service your customer. And this guy literally left his computer at a hotel and he didn't realize it until he landed. And he calls the hotel and says, oh my God, I left my computer. They hooked him up with the housekeeper who was in the room and said look, I found it. He's like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. I've got to have this here tomorrow morning. And she literally took a red-eye flight to Hawaii, delivered the computer, got back on the next plane and headed back. And everybody's like, you didn't stay? You were there? She's like, I had work to do. Yep. And man, such an amazing story. But anyway, I know where you're at, and that's what made me think about it.
That's cool.
Sage Northcutt says, I've used both a probe and deck plate, and you get the sound of your hand rubbing the tip on the floor. Okay. What's the point? That's the point of the deck plate. What is the Leak Pro return policy? Here's the look. If you already know you don't like a probe, don't waste your time.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I can take this probe, I can hold my arm still, and press the button and listen. It's not rubbing.
Oh.
I mean, I don't move it around a lot. I literally get where I want. I'll be still. I'll make sure the wire is not touching the probe, not touching anything. And I do. I get real still. I press the button for about 2 seconds and let go. I'll hear something.
And Sage, listen to what he just said. He presses the button to listen. Our equipment is not always on like a lot of these other
the
pieces of
geophone.
equipment.
Oh my God, you're so right.
Okay, so you won't hear any rubbing because you put it in place before you ever push button activate it to take a listen. So you are prepared to listen. You won't hear a rubbing with the way our equipment's built.
Yeah, and he's right, because I didn't even think about that on the geophones. It literally, moving them around will kill you. And again, welcome to everybody in the show. Those of y'all that are new, man, glad to have you here. If you've got a question, please put a Q in front of it. I want to make sure we get to all those. If you hadn't subscribed to the Trade Talks, I interviewed Brandon earlier. It was amazing. Brandon, take just a second again. Tell everybody who you are, what you do, why you do what you do.
Yeah, Brandon Jones. I started in the trades 20 years ago doing HVAC, and now own my own roofing company here in Richardson, Texas, Express Home Services. Big, bright orange and blue colors with a really cool Texified decked out shark on the side of the van. He's really awesome. We need a name for him. If anybody wants to shoot any names over for my Texas shark. You know, I got into the industry. I was working for a utility company, and I hated everything that I did. And a friend of mine said, hey, I know a guy that owns an HVAC company that's looking for salespeople. And I said, well, I'm not a salesperson. I'll never be a salesperson. I hate doing sales. And he said, all right, but you should go talk to him. So I went and talked to him, and this man taught me about how to be a consultant and how to offer options and how to provide solutions and how to fix problems and everything. And then I figured out I wasn't really selling anything after all. And they paid me to go out and talk to people, which my people in my personal life loved because I was a little tired when I got home and didn't talk to them so much, probably. But, you know, my life mission is to improve lives. And I get to do that a lot of ways. And that's what we're all about. And that's what we do every day.
I love it. I just got a message, and I was looking down just to see a buddy of mine who I'm working on some website stuff with. Any of y'all remember Cruz that used to be in here? Cruz, he literally takes a picture, a selfie picture, Jake does, and sends it to me. Says, I got Cruz working in my house right now. And I guess they got to talking about plumbing and said, hey, do you know Roger? He's like, I actually do know Roger. So pretty neat. So Cruz, if you jump in, I'll look for it and make sure I get to tell you hello. Grouchy Pimp says for El Pastor, go to Rosita's on Riverside. Here's what I don't. Well, and I want to say this. Go to Suerte and try it. If you don't talk to me about Rosita's. Look, I've been to East Riverside. I know there's some great Mexican restaurants, great food. I love it. But y'all, if you hear me, Austin, Texas, East Riverside, Suerte, Sodero Tacos.
This is the best thing I've got added today, by the way. Now I'm really hungry for some tacos.
I know. I may drive to Austin this afternoon. You never know.
Like I was going to say, it's a quick flight back and forth, and you've done that flight before just for
the
dinner.
tacos.
Just for the tacos.
I literally, okay, true story. It got towards the end of the year, and I got a message from Southwest Airlines that says, hey, you're like 5,000 points shy of A-list preferred.
Well, I'm kind of hungry.
And I knew this a week in advance. And I'm like, man. And I start reading through what all you get for A-list preferred. And I'm like, you know what?
Worth it.
It would be worth it. So I did. I looked and I thought, man, look, I can fly to Austin, leave Dallas at 3, hit Austin at 4, be at Suerte by 5, be through with dinner by 6:30, 6:37 if I drink margaritas and invite someone. Back on the plane by 7:30, 8 o'clock, and back in Dallas by 10 o'clock. Back in bed by 10 o'clock.
My goodness.
3 to 10. Those of y'all that know him, I called Dustin Stelzer, Electrician U. If you don't know him, go check out that channel if you're an electrician. He's phenomenal. Love him to death. Great. Doing good stuff on YouTube, good stuff for the community. Called him, said, dude, I will be at Suerte at 5 o'clock. If you're there, I'll buy you dinner. Let's talk. So he laughed at me when I told him my story, but he showed up. And at the time, they had a ribeye steak that was phenomenal. So I ordered the ribeye and the Sodero tacos. And he says, I'll have whatever he's having. So we had steak, tacos, and 3 or 4 margaritas apiece. And it was fine. I was Ubering and flying, and I wasn't the one flying.
You know, when you started this story, I thought to myself, Roger, you're a little crazy. But by the end of it, I was kind of like, man, I wish I'd have been there.
I know.
Yep.
You know?
So and I am a little crazy. I'm going to go ahead and vouch for that.
Yeah.
I don't
Sounds like a great
deny
time.
that.
But it really makes sense because they are that good
They
at
are that
tacos. Like,
Grassy Pimp says, shout out to everybody on the call.
skip it.
David Aminu says, oh, pros. No. Well, it could be. You can listen to Air Leaks. I've done it before. Go ahead. You started to say something?
You can find leaks in hospitals, yes.
There you go. I like that. Steve Arloa says, I like that. Raise your hand the second you feel like I'm trying to sell you something.
Yeah,
Isn't that
that's
good?
it, yeah.
What a great way. And look, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever, you tell them that, and it's like, okay, I like that. I mean, if you can get good enough to, because here's the deal, you're going to relax in front of them and really just talk.
Yeah.
And man, when you get that good, it's going to be amazing. Luis Esposita says, I have a question for y'all. Been with my family-owned company for 5 years in January. They're putting me through trade school. I'm 2 years done, 2 to go, but just got offered another gig. You know, we all get offered other gigs. Is it worth it? Is it worth leaving for $1? Is it worth leaving for $2? Is the other company going to invest in you enough to put you through school? You know, we talked about this in the in the podcast a while ago. Training is one of the most important things, and all companies don't do it. And some companies, their training might be, hey, go out there and take that water heater apart and put it back together.
Yeah.
That's not much training.
A couple of comments down, he mentions that it's for a sheet metal fabricating company for a lot more money.
Okay.
Don't ever take a job for more money. Please. I've done it. It's a mistake. It's not about the money. What is the total offering that you're getting with the company you're at? But what are the ramifications of leaving after they paid for 2 years of school? Are you ever even going to be able to go back after that? You got to think all these other things through. Don't make a money-based decision here, because if the company you're at right now is great and they're sending you through the school and you're getting the training, you're doing all that, you might end up making more there than you did at the sheet metal fabrication company. So you can't move for money.
And the company you're at cares enough to invest in you, and you already know that. So,
Yeah. It's a family-owned company. They really do like to support their people. And if you step off into a big world, a lot of those places, they care about their people, but not near as much.
okay. Sage Northcutt says, thank you. I think you should include that information for plumbers like myself coming from Soweran or SEBA KMT. Look, we're all different. We all manufacture different equipment. I'll tell you, my favorite thing about Leak Pro is you've got the probe, you've got a headset. That's it. You don't have that big clunky piece around your neck or strapped around your waist or any of that. I've dealt with all that. And you know, I talked earlier about being an apprentice and chipping a cabinet. The only time I broke something for a customer, I had that one of the kits around my neck, the headphones plugged into it, the probe plugged into it. So you've got the probe, the headphones, the transmitter, all of it. And I bent down, and when I raised up, it nicked the counter. And I did. I told the lady, I said, look, I got to tell you, I messed up. I said, my equipment hit your countertop here, and I chipped it just a little bit. And she laughed. She said, see that chip on the other side? And I didn't even notice it. I said, I do. She said, I'm not worried about it. I said, oh, my God, thank you so much. And it was just a little bitty chip, but I wanted to be honest about it. So all the equipment's different. Look at it. I don't like deck plates as much anymore. I've used them. I see a time for them. But I love the probe because I think it's more accurate. And that's just me. Luis Esposita says, as a metal fabricator for a significant, there you go. But I'm on track to be the boss in 5 or 10 years. Does that mean at the new place or old place? You know, the future is what it's all about. Who's going to invest in you now, and where do you have a better, brighter future? And man, again, back to our podcast earlier, if you're married, if you have children, where do they love you working? Do these people care about your family, where you're at or where you're going? Because that's a big deal. Cabbage Town says, I'm not in the trades, but a DIY homeowner. My favorite kind of people. How do you prevent your pipes from condensation? The water that comes out of the well is so cold and it's so humid during summers here. Insulate it, wrap it, watertight it, proof it, whatever you can do. Any ideas there for super condensation lines?
Exactly what he said.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And it used to blow my mind why insulators go back. And I mean, man, they seal off the seam, then they come in and paint it with a sealer, and they're done. I'm like, dude, what's the big deal? It's insulation. When you find one that wasn't done right and the insulation starts getting wet and soaking through, man, that moisture and water, humidity, everything travels.
Yep, you want it sealed.
Clark Christo 34 says plumbers are the backbone of the plumbing industry. I think they're the backbone of the trades industry, the construction industry, and everything else. But yes, Louis says, what is the family-owned business? Do you enjoy the work? Or do you enjoy metal fabricating work more?
Yep.
Look at your future. Look at where you want to be when you grow up. David Emanuel says, now I want some daggum tacos. I'm going to go get some tacos. Another feeling. I wish there was some that
blame you.
good here. Man, I need to look online and see if Suerte delivers to Dallas.
So for those of you not in the South, dadgum is not a brand.
Yeah,
By the way,
it's
it's
not.
an expression.
It's not. It's a word we use.
You learn that when you get down here.
But I'll tell you the cool thing is I wonder if they ship, because I've ordered food from Salt Lick, and if y'all have never had Salt Lick barbecue outside of Austin, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Louis says, we're a plumbing family. There you go. Theodore says, Roger, if you're ever in Oahu, Hawaii, Heineken's on me all day. What about like Garrison Brothers, Jack Daniels? I try not to drink beer, but I would drink a beer with you, brother, I promise. And I'm not high dollar like Heineken. I mean, Coors Light. I don't do Natty or anything like that, but Coors Light I'm good with. Kat says, hi, everyone. What would it cost, ballpark, to reset a toilet with a broken flange? I have a ceiling leak in the downstairs toilet. Would pipes have to be checked? How long of a job? Kind of got to see it to
Yes.
get an accurate price, don't you? I mean,
You really
I hate
do.
to say that.
I would say this: beware of any contractor that would quote you that price over the phone, because it's probably going to change when they get there. That's why it's best to have somebody out diagnose the entire problem and give you a price that you're going to pay when the job is done.
Yeah. That was easy. Luis. Wherever he went. Aha, sounds good. You're more than welcome. Steve Arloa says, Luis, I would say do what you enjoy doing. It's a career. You have to make sure you enjoy what you're doing every day. Clark Christo 34 says, the training sucks at my job. Access controls. Man, you can make such great money in controls, but if the training is not good, it's tough.
Yep.
I would say if you've got history, but you've also got to look, do you love the company you're at? If you love the company you're at, go into the people and say, hey, look, I love this. Is there any way to get any more training? I want to become great. That's a great way to approach that. If they say, look, you're getting trained by the journeyman you work with. If the journeyman you work with sucks, open your eyes. Just take a look around, see what's available. Y'all agree?
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed. Steve Arloa says, thank you for the super sticker. Yes, and I did see that super sticker. Here's the thing. And that's why I looked at that. If the training sucks,
Yep.
you don't leave for money, but money will make you leave. And what I mean by that is, when I worked for big commercial companies, I did not just quit jobs. Other companies would reach out to me and say, hey, we've got a job we need you for. Okay? You've got a skill set. You've got an intelligence level. You've got a reputation with the project manager, with the general contractor. You've got a unique skill set. And I remember quitting and leaving one time and going over and see my dad, who worked for Western Electric, AT&T, Southwestern Bell, the conglomerate, for 40 years. I remember going and sitting over in Papa's living room one day, and I'm sitting there, and he looked at me, and we're talking about my new job, and he says, Raj, look, he said, don't you think it's time that you settle down at one company and stay there? And I said, Dad, just like I told y'all, I don't leave. People pay me to leave. He says, what do you mean? I said, Dad, look, I said, this last job that I changed, they've got a big job going on over here. And I'm really good at this part. And by the way, it's at least a $12,000 a year raise. And he says, well, what do you mean? Well, in the union, you work hourly. There's no commissions, there's bonuses, there's all kinds of cool stuff. But I said, that's why I said at least. I said, they offered me $6 more an hour, so that's $12,000 a year. Plus I'll make bonuses. Plus I get,
Overtime.
another week vacation. Plus I get 3 more holidays. Plus I get sick time. Plus I get a Blue Jane expense, whatever it was. And guys, anything's negotiable. I negotiated a new set of tires every year
Yep.
in a contract one time because they wanted me to work in Fort Worth. I said, I'll do it. I get paid to drive one way. and I get a new set of tires every year because I got a big old truck, and those 37-inch tires aren't cheap.
Just put some on mine.
Yeah, so it is. So Clark Christo, thank you. Training sucks at your job. Look and see what's out there because there's always opportunity.
I was going to say that's one of the biggest reasons I would actually leave a company is I got stagnant there and I wasn't learning there anymore.
That's the biggest thing in the world. The culture sucks.
That's the biggest thing that'll push you away. Yep.
He says, thank you for the super sticker and your support. Amen. Hal Maloney says, I was going to replace my Poly B with PEX, but my furnace sales agent friend says it's not necessary since my hot water doesn't recirculate. Replace my Poly B with PEX. I don't know what the hot water circulation would have to do or why you were wanting to replace it to begin with. So, not sure. Thank you. Oh, we go to Texas, but I love the cold. Can't stand southern humidity. Have fun where you're at, brother. I love it.
Guess you missed the whole taco conversation.
I know. There's reasons to go. And here's the thing, too. I don't like the cold. I wonder how y'all do it, man. Dan Kicks Luffies, hello. How are we doing? There's the link to the app if you don't have it. Christo, there's always a joke. David Manuel, yeah, me too. Tacos sound good right about. Look, I can make y'all want tacos. I can tell you about the way they're served. I'll tell you there's 4 to a plate. I can tell you the tacos are so good there that
it's the appetizer and the entree.
it's the dessert. It's literally, they're like, do you want an appetizer? And don't get me wrong, they've got a very unique guacamole with a pistachio oil or something. It's really good. But the cool thing is, you get 4 tacos each. They're this big around. They're covered in guacamole. Their salsas are amazing. They got one that will light you on fire. I'm starting to drool now.
Me too.
It's going to be a trip.
And when you're done with 4, when you're there with somebody like Squirt, it's like, hey, do we want to order dessert or we just want another plate of 4 tacos and we can split them? It's like, oh, let's get the tacos.
Let's split them.
Yeah, we can get
First
dessert
of all, there's absolutely no reason to split tacos. Okay, get your own plate.
No, but I can't eat 8. I mean, I probably could. So I do my 4, he does his 4. Then it's instead of dessert, do we want 4 more?
We get another plate and split that
I stand by my previous comment.
I know. And trust me, I've thought about could. If he'd have wanted dessert, I'd have said, okay, then I'm going to do 4 more.
I was going to say, we probably could
I can force it
8
down.
tacos.
I know we could.
I know I'd get them down.
Did you get the picture? Not sure what picture you're talking about. Where did you send it? Isaiah says, I would definitely go for a job, though. Look, Isaiah, you can get a job anywhere. And I don't mean that bad. Do the research. Find out what kind of tradesperson you want to be. Drive around your city or whatever. Watch TV. Find out who's advertising or marketing or building, doing the kind of work you want to do. And start applying. And learn how to apply for a job. Steve says, okay, Mai Tais, margaritas, Jack and Coke.
Heineken
all
for
free.
him, no problem.
You can do all the Heineken you want, brother. I love it. Smitty's barbecue cap of the world is the best. If you ain't, but you know, I was at Pecan Lodge yesterday in Texas. I'm telling you,
Hutchins.
I'm drilling again. Hutchins,
Hutchins,
there's so many amazing.
The little, they give you the at
Heartache.
the end. Hutchins has
dessert ball.
the cobbler and the pudding
And-
out,
yes.
and you can just have as much as you want,
Yes.
included with your meal, free.
Yeah. Isaiah says, or Steve says, I grew up in Michigan. I don't like the cold at all. Me either. Stuart Lowell, when I travel the South on my own, I would say I'm from Massachusetts. And the people would say, oh, yeah, Michigan. I've been there. Yeah, I get that. Don't forget to hit the like. Yeah, guys, look, if you do, and we're about done here. If you like what you've heard, if you've enjoyed it, please do. Give us a thumbs up. Share it. Tell somebody about it. If you haven't hit the subscribe button or ring the bell, look, we do this every Saturday as long as I'm in town. But, you know, if you do, if you like it, let YouTube know. That way then tell more people about it. If you really liked it, share it. Let other people know. Massachusetts is one of the states I haven't been to but plan on visiting. It's amazing. Been there. It is so cool. Probably is more expensive here. They wouldn't even touch it. I only like the beach there. As soon as I graduated high school, went to Vermont and then Maine. Go to Salisbury Beach on the North Shore. That was my favorite. Never been. Steve says there's a place on the North Shore called Killer Tacos, and it's called that for a reason. There you go. Definitely Killer Tacos. I love it. Jared Tucker says, that's it, going to get tacos. I think everybody's going to be eating tacos today, guys. No more comments. I'm done, but thank y'all all so much. This has been so much fun. Brandon, tell everybody who you are, where you are, and how they can get in touch with you.
I'm Brandon, Express Home Services over in Richardson. ExpressHomeServicesTX.com. Brandon at ExpressHomeServicesTX.com. I love to talk trades. I love to talk people. I love to connect and network. Some of you have talked about wanting to get into apprenticeships and trades. I know contractors in darn near every state in the United States of America that are looking for awesome people. Send me an email. I will connect you with someone within a half hour of where you currently live.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, except for Oahu.
Yeah. And I'm taking that one myself. So we're good. Squirt, thank you for being here. Look, I love having you in here. So much fun. This has been really neat. Just hanging out, talking about all the trades, all kinds of work in the trades. Thank you all for being here. If you enjoyed that, please come back. And there you go. Steve put a comment in. Let me go in here and get this real quick. There's his channel right there. Great. And okay, it did put the link. That's right. I've got you in as a moderator, so you put the whole link in. I love that. Another great channel. Like I said, if you hadn't checked out Steve, go subscribe. If you have not checked out Architectural Sheet Metal 101, go check it out. Subscribe. Ring the bell. Electrician U, one of my buddies. I may have to fly down there just to meet him at Suerte. Guys, thank you very much. I'm not going to read these last comments. I say thank you so much. I appreciate it. California rules. Great seeing you. Much love. Aloha. Brother, peace to all y'all. Yep. Guys, thank you all for being here. I really do enjoy it. Love y'all. And I'll see y'all next Saturday because I believe I'm here.
Y'all have a great week.
Have a great day. Talk to y'all soon. Bye, guys.